From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 8th, 2017. Silver is trading at $18.12 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,350 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 5.5 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,618. Antiwar.com reports despite Russian opposition already having effectively killed the chances of a total oil ban on North Korea being enforced, the U.S. is still pushing the plan at the UN Security Council. It's not just a ban, however. The U.S. wants permission to militarily enforce it. The resolution includes broad language allowing the U.S. Navy and Air Force to capture and board North Korean ships at sea and to use all necessary measures to force them to reveal if they are complying with the ban. U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley is looking for a vote by Monday, though it seems like any language within the resolution about interdiction of North Korean ships is likely to be removed at the behest of both China and Russia if the resolution is to survive at all. China is said to be interested in showing that they are cooperating with the U.S. on some sort of UN resolution, though Russia has been frank about opposing more sanctions. Either way, the U.S. goal seems to be leaving at least some of the language about the interdiction within and then treating that as permission. The resolution is more than just a way to try to enforce an unenforceable embargo. The U.S. plan is to militarily board North Korean ships, and officials are conceding that's almost certainly a recipe for military confrontation. The Treasury Department warned on Wednesday that if the UN action is blocked, the U.S. might go through with imposing a ban on all U.S. trade with dozens of nations that trade with North Korea. Such a move would have disastrous economic consequences worldwide. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports with Hurricane Irma just a couple of days out, Florida's 20 million residents are hitting highways out of town, and those who aren't leaving are searching for supplies to hunker down. State's residents are bracing for the strongest storm since Hurricane Andrew, a Category 5 storm, struck South Florida in 1992. Andrew caused $47.8 billion in damage and killed 65 people. Irma is forecast to diminish to a Category 4 storm with sustained winds between 130 to 156 miles per hour when it possibly reaches Florida around 8 a.m. on Sunday, though tropical force winds are forecast to arrive Saturday. Governor Rick Scott said Thursday that Irma is much worse and much more devastating on its current path than Andrew. Scott said during a briefing on Thursday, Andrew did not have storm surge, but this storm does. This can kill you. The National Hurricane Center issued a storm surge watch and hurricane watch for South Florida, stretching from the Jupiter Inlet south around the peninsula's southern tip to Bonita Beach on the Gulf Coast. The Florida Keys are also included in both watches. After the watch was posted, Governor Scott called up 3,000 additional members of the Florida National Guard. Another 1,000 members were called up earlier in the week, and the remaining 3,000 must report to duty on Friday. Mandatory evacuations have already been issued in coastal areas of South Florida, including the Florida Keys, and more than 650,000 Miami-Dade residents on barrier islands, including Miami Beach and in low-lying mainland areas. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports a federal appeals court on Thursday rejected the Trump administration's efforts to temporarily bar most refugees from entering the country, ruling that those who have relationships with a resettlement agency should be exempt from an executive order banning refugees. A three-judge Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals panel also ruled that grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins of legal U.S. residents should be exempted from President Donald Trump's order, which banned travelers from 6 Muslim-majority countries. The ruling is the latest legal blow to the president's sweeping executive order barring travelers from Iran, Syria, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen for 90 days, which Trump said was necessary for national security. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.